What's up, movie fans? Welcome back to another review on the channel. Today we're looking at Wonder Woman 1984, directed by Patty Jenkins, released in 2020, and starring Gal Gadot, Kristen Wiig, Chris Pine, and Pedro Pascal. Now, again, the cast do a brilliant job acting here, but before we delve into that, I just want to mention that obviously this is the first review on the channel that I'm doing. Why I've only seen the movie once. This is the first time I've seen the movie. I have not seen it since. I have not seen it a second time or a third time. I've watched it once and I'm doing this review now. So I thought this would be almost a template to see if doing those sort of reviews would work better than me going back and doing reviews on films I've seen several times. So, and you know, I'm excited to see how this goes. Hopefully for me it will prove that I can see movies that I haven't seen yet and review them. There's obviously a lot of movies that I have seen that I want to cover, but there's some movies on my shelf I haven't seen yet that all my friends are telling me to see, and it's a sin I've not seen. That I do want to cover them, but obviously, you know, I feel like I need to watch them a couple of times and I can't afford to do that. So this is a little beta test almost with a movie that I've really been wanting to see for a while because of the people's opinions of it and stuff, and I've been intrigued by it and the cast and the music and that. So I really am, you know, excited to see this movie and to watch the movie, and this is my thoughts and feelings on it. And I thought I'd just say that obviously this is the first review I've done where it's been a one-time view, so I hope you enjoy that. But yeah, this movie came out in 2020 during the global pandemic. It actually premiered in America, at least on Christmas Day 2020, and you could watch it if you had HBO Max, which is something that currently isn't on offer in my country at the moment. So obviously it came out I think in early 2021 in this country. I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on that. But it did come out in this country. It was in my country. It had a thing where you can rent it for 16 Great British pounds, which no one on their own God's green earth would do, to be honest. Not even for movies that I'm looking forward to. I still wouldn't do that. Even the only one I can think of that I would ever do that for would be No Time to Die and potentially Spiral. But really, No Time to Die is the limit on that. But yeah, so Wonder Woman 1984 is not as bad as everyone sees it. I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought the premise was fun. I thought the cast did absolutely smashed it with all their portrayals. Again, like I said in the previous recording that I fucked up, the person with the best performance in this film, without a shadow of a doubt, is Pedro Pascal as Maxwell Lord. His performance outshines everyone else on a fucking... I mean, Gal Gadot still has one performance, but Pedro Pascal in this movie is fucking fantastic. He is so brilliant. The meme where life is good, but it could be better. I love that meme. There's lots of memes that came from this movie. The trash can one and that are the two that come to my head. And I do like those memes. They're quite funny. But again, I like the premise that it's set in 1984. I do feel like maybe at this point there's too many movies that are coming out that are set in 1980s, but as it's not a period that I ever lived through, and I'm sure that's for a lot of people that see these movies, even if it is a period, I like, for me personally, I chose history when I was studying, and I wanted to learn about the period from I think like World War One all the way through to the 90s now sort of stuff, that period, modern history essentially. And it does fascinate me, the 80s and such, like those times, that period, like I said, it fascinates me. So for me, as an outsider who wasn't alive during the 80s or the 90s, it's an interesting way to see it portrayed on the big screen, and I'm all for it. I love seeing that sort of stuff, so it's brilliant. Now, I have to want to give another shout out here to Kristen Wiig, who does a brilliant performance as Cheetah in this movie. Again, brilliant performance. But yeah, again, I think the way it's shot adds that value to it. But I feel like, again, here with the color palette, it's mostly bright colors, but also not too bright. They're not, although like with the soundtrack album art and stuff, it's very vibrant. It's got 80s style colors, but I feel like it's only that vibrant in the places where it's needed to be, like when Chris Pine is trying in all the outfits and stuff. It's really vibrant there, but it's not so, I think it could have had a bit more spruce up camera wise, but I don't think that's terrible in that regard. I think it's not 100% fish out of water, because I do like that aspect where it's almost flipped on its head, where in the last film it was Diana who was the fish out of water in the World War times, and it was Steve that was showing her through that. But here it's almost the other way around, but it's not focused on as much, and it's obviously not as obvious with him as it is when it was with her. But I still like the sort of flipping itself on its head a further time, because obviously in the first film you had Steve being the damsel in distress, needing to always be saved, and then Wonder Woman being the saviour, which is a nice. I like that flip, and here you're flipping it again. I do like to see mixing up to the formulas is brilliant. I think that again, I just think as a whole, it's a fabulously well shot movie, and I just think that Pedro Pascal is. I think that was enough. This sold me on the movie enough. I feel like just for Pedro Pascal's performance alone, I would recommend watching this movie. I feel like he gives it his all. He really does, and he is absolutely fantastic. Is it Oscar worthy? Potentially, I don't really know, but I just feel like his performance really stood out to an extent, and I really enjoyed it. And I feel like Diana's story that they go through here is also brilliant, and the way she ends that story arc almost is fantastic. With she had to make a choice between this and that, and I think obviously that's quite a basic story plot, but I feel like here it's explored and pushed a bit further, and she finally sort of gets over that, and I really like that story pushing. But I think just adds to that, and I do like it goes to some other countries and stuff. There is one scene, however, that I want to bring up and it's the scene where it's the open road scene where this song actually is played, you're hearing, but it's just a scene that I feel like it went away from the 80s style, because I feel like some of the I may be wrong, I may be wrong, because I don't 100% know what 80s cars look like, but I feel like the Mercedes Jeep car that Maxwell Lord is in isn't 100% a 1980s car. I may be wrong, don't quote me, but that's just a little thing that I saw. I don't know if it's right or wrong, if it is an 80s car or not. If it is an 80s car, then this is a completely invalid argument, but if it isn't, I just want to put that point out there. If I'm wrong, I will gladly look it up once I've done. I should have looked it up before I did the video, but I'm pretty sure it probably was a car, because they wouldn't have made that such an obvious mistake in a movie like this. So I'm hoping that it is an 80s car, and I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it is, but I just want to put that out there just in case. But yeah, it's a fantastic film. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I wasn't going into it. I don't know how I felt, because I had a lot. Obviously, I'd heard all the reviews and stuff, and I didn't know if I was going to enjoy it or not. I bought the Blu-ray recently when it came out in this country. I do like the posters and the artwork, specifically the poster for the UK Blu-ray. You can't see it, but I like that aesthetic, and I think that the costume and her hair is perfect there, and I love that. It's one of the posters for the film, but it's not the main one, I don't think. But I think it was the first poster they released. Look that one up. I might even use it for the thumbnail, because I like it that much. But yeah, I just think the movie does its job really. Do I think it's the worst DC movie? No. Is it better than Aquaman? Definitely not. Is it better than Suicide Squad? Probably. Is it better than BVS? The Theatrical Cut, at least? Yeah, I would say so. I haven't seen the Ultimate Edition. Again, that's a coming up on the channel soon, I promise, next week. Where do I put it in the DCU rankings? I'll have to just think about that. I'll have to rewatch the whole DCU again, because I have everything now. I have all the DCU movies. This was the one I needed, so I can go and watch it. Everything from Man of Steel all the way through to Wonder Woman 1984 and Zack Snyder's Justice League, so I can watch all of that stuff. I'm hoping to, and Birds of Prey and all that, so I'm hoping to do a good old DCEU ranking, but this is the first. If I do a DCEU review series, this movie won't be included, because I've already done the review, and in that playlist I'll just pop this one in the required space. So yeah, but yeah, that's Wonder Woman 1984. I thought that I enjoyed the experience. I thought it's not got a man-hating... personally, from what I've seen reviews saying that it's got a man-hating agenda, and every man in the movie is shown to be a rapist. That's not entirely true at all. I believe that's a completely false fact. And they said that, oh, well, obviously every man except for Steve Trevor, and I feel that, again, that's wrong. There's a lot of people who aren't portrayed like that. And obviously there's the one character that is portrayed exactly like that, the man that attacks, that's fair. If you want to have that kind of commentary, do it. I think it's done well. I was just watching that scene and thinking, it's a scene that's well done. It doesn't bother me that it's there. I'm not saying, oh, political agendas are terrible in a movie. If it's there subtly, like it was in this movie, that's fine by me. It's not going to discourage my opinion of the movie or anything like that, just because there's a political agenda almost style, thing there. I don't really mind. You're using your platform to get your opinions out as a director. That's absolutely fine, as long as you don't ram it down the throat so hard and have it across the entire movie. That's fine. If you put it in here and there, which is what Patty Jenkins has done here, that's a-okay with me. You're using your platform in a mannered way, then you're not pushing it on everyone else. You're not saying that you have to be like this and like that, which some directors have done in the past. I can't think of any off my head, but I know that it has happened before, you know. But, you know, as long as you just put it in subtly and in single scenes and places, that's absolutely fine by me. And like I said, it's done perfectly fine here. So yeah, that's Wonder Woman 1984. Again, stay tuned tomorrow for our next review, which is, if I believe correctly, I think it's Gentleman. No, it's not Gentleman. It's not Gentleman at all. It is Bloodshot. Bloodshot, the comic book movie. So another comic book movie. So yeah, that's fun. So yeah, stay tuned for Bloodshot review tomorrow. And just a quick reminder, by the time this video is up, it's probably started, so it's too late. But we are doing the movie nights from now on in the Discord server, and our first one's Hitman's Bodyguard, which is today at 2:30. So it's probably already going to happen by the time this review goes up, because I'm getting it done quite quickly. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed my review of Wonder Woman 1984. Have a wonderful day, and bye bye for now.